Listen up, you beautiful bastards. I'm Insipid, and this is Runescape. Apparently, in the midst of doing some burning of things, I met a fire spirit, and they gave me some 20 air runes. Thanks, guys. Burn. I also found out, Nito Bandito, that if you click this, you can click Add to Bonfire, which also gives fire burning XP. Now, you might have noticed that was 105 XP. Well, that's neat. What if I do this? Flaboop, 90 XP. Right here, just 2 clicks, 105 XP. So you're getting 15 extra XP per time you do that. And that is, what, a 25% increase in your XP gain? The problem is that there's an entire animation going on right there, if you didn't notice. So you have to click this, click that, he goes, tosses it on, animation, fiddle, 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 flap, 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 fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. Good. And then he's done. And then you're allowed to do things again. Maybe it calls for more than one log per time, which is why it use more and then give you more XP. Let me take a look. We're going to go ahead and start chopping this, and we're going to find out. We're going to take a look at that and investigate this whole situation. Right over here, though, let's go ahead and get into that very same topic that I was going to talk about. We mentioned it last time. I gave kind of a heads-up video. Let's go right on into it right about now. I have long been a little bit confused by how we attempt to treat the topic of sexuality in the United States. And I mean that not as a societal level. At a societal, like at a broader level, we have various groups vying for airtime to talk about their interpretation of sexuality and violently decrying the opposition as terrible, terrible, broken people. That is unfortunate, because that completely ignores the biological mandate that is human companionship and how we'd like to manifest that. And let's not be terribly confused, okay? Engaging in romantic intercourse feels very nice when you do things together that feel nice, he said, not getting his channel banned. And so to look at people and go, whoa now, excuse us, is that free and pleasant? Well, that's no good. Does it also happen to create babies? Yes. Do I want the government regulating my baby creation processes? No. I would like more options for the baby creation processy. I'm not saying I need a Build-A-Bear, kind of business model. I'm just saying I need more options in terms of don't make baby, make baby. I'm just looking for like a greater separation there where more people get to be happy about that process. Maybe. And let's go ahead and jump over to something really bold, if I may. Just flat out, should people be allowed to have sex as long as they're consenting? Duh. Yes. Yes. No one is harmed by this action? Huzzah. Huzzah. And until we create baby-making licenses or procreation licenses, so far as I've seen, the UK is going to beat us there. No, you don't get any kind of say in who is stooping. Now, we do have some rules that we kind of put on people below the age of 18, because we said 18 you're an adult, before 18 you're a Neanderthal. You don't get to make decisions about your life and death, except for when you drive cars, and can smoke. Yeah. When you can join the military. When you can sign up for a 6-digit financial commitment for college. All of those things we are totally good for you doing. It's wonderful. Oh, go for it. But if you want to do something that's free and feels nice, stop it right now. Because you might end up being an underage mother, an underage pregnantness, an unmarried mother. Oh, man, we're going to combine these words in ways that make it sound very, very unpleasant for you, but we're also going to make sure that there's as little resources as possible to take care of you all the way leading up until that title. Once you've got that title, though, boom! Oh, we are so prepared to defame and chastise you at the kind of message level of our society. And we have gone above and beyond to make sure that anyone who is underage and ends up pregnant gets to feel the full weight of panic, because they have just made an important decision for the rest of their lives. And let me not confuse anyone. Procreation, as part of the whole things attached to companionship, yeah, I'm okay with that. I think there's a whole lot more we could and or should be doing to, yeah, didn't quite mean that. So we got these two right here. He's chucking one. Good. I see him about to chuck another. All right, so he chucks in 2, and then we get the extra 25%. But it's also a lot slower and uses up more wood. So I think we're going to continue doing the whole lighting thing, because I think I'm a little bit faster than that. And yeah, that was cool and all. You're chewing up all my wood. I need this. I need this right now so I can get my thing. It's a very important thing, you know. We're almost at 200 here, which would put us at the 250 mark out of 1,000. I'm feeling pretty confident about this event. We're gonna get this done just fine. Coming on back, we have made valiant efforts in this country to downplay sex in general, to make our children horrified of STDs. Good. Creating nice, healthy associations between, the act of companionship and, like, permanent damage. Huzzah. And it's just the education methodology behind it, where it attempts to advertise abstinence only. It tries to employ a policy of the exact opposite of recognizing that there's a biological mandate. And what does the biological mandate say? Anytime you try and tell an animal not to do something that is on its list of biological mandates, you can get boned, because there is not a chance in hell that you will convince that animal to not do it forever. Okay? Human companionship is a biological mandate, and trying to tell anyone, especially children, not to do something, you have made a mistake. They literally lack the full suite of inhibitory functions as provided by the prefrontal cortex. You're doing it wrong, in my opinion. Now, I want to go ahead and drop those couple of words right there, in my opinion. It is my opinion that abstinence only is an entirely flawed and thoroughly ineffectual method of teaching our youth how to not do something that is on a list of biological mandates. Now, what biological mandates can you ask people to wait on? The ones where they will die the latest if they don't do it. Right? You tell an animal to stop pooping, it will die. Okay? It needs to do that or it will literally die. Eating food. Within days. And I'm going to go ahead and lump drinking water and eating food together. It's an important thing. Okay? Alright? You're consuming stuff. Days. Companionship. We actually are a rather emotionally resilient species, all things considered. But in the end, if you deny someone companionship long term, it does serious long term damage. If you want any examples of that, isolation in prisons. There's any number of demonstrations of the severe long-term mental damage that happens to people from that level of isolation. Period, and or done. But now, that very much aside, the whole prison example being horrific in and of itself, most of the international community agrees that long-term isolation is literally torture and, violation of international law. But hey, let's just go ahead and do what we gotta do to keep prisoners safe from each other, which is crazy town. It sounds exactly like school. Take a bunch of people that are going through all of their emotions right now, shove them together into one place, and hope that that covers all of our companionship needs. Please, no, and thank you. And I suppose that does create a very interesting counterpoint. If human companionship is so important, why does it lead to all of these problems in prison? Maybe because in prison we're not quite taking care of that other biological mandate, mental health. Or the individuals that tend to end up in prison might have mental health problems. Again, that's an opinion. I don't know if there's any confirmed correlation there, but I'd love to look into it with you. I am full up on logs, huzzah! But just coming on back, just flat out in terms of companionship and intercourse, you are seeing attempts to try and make that conform to someone else's standard. You are all the time, every time, 10 out of 10, going to experience pushback because you are denying someone one of their biological functions. And so you either develop ways to enforce it harder, to make them be quiet and not speak up about how they're not being represented, or you make the system adaptable. You recognize the very human nature of the problem, and then you are sympathetic to the fact that it's a human problem and pursue solutions that allow everyone to be represented, to feel like they are actualizing themselves and are not dismissed. It is not, in my opinion, a vastly controversial statement to say that companionship is a right of humanity, and to deny ourselves that either through attempts of moralistic regulation or by literal confinement. Doing so is a disservice, in the least, a crime in the worst. Now, what I've got to go ahead and do before we get to wrap this on up is say a big ol' thank you to these fine people right here. These are the people that make these streams and videos possible. Thank you very much. I certainly can't do it without you. And with that, it's been real. It's been fun. I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Take care, everybody.